Good morning. This is Professor Rasik Iqbal Mullah. So, in this session, we are going to discuss about mixing assembly and high level language. So, in previous sessions, we discussed about assembly level and high level language based development for the firmware. So, here we are discussing how we can mix both assembly level language and high level language. So here you see, in a certain embedded firmware development situation may demand the mixing of high level language with assembly or vice versa. High level language and assembly level language are usually mixed in a three ways, the namely mixing assembly language with high level language, mixing high level language with assembly level language, and the third one is inline assembly programming. So in a mixing assembly with high level language, as assembly you read here, assembly routine are mixed, right, with C in a situation where the entire program is written in C, and cross compiler is used do not have a built-in support for the implementing certain feature like interrupt service routine. If programmer wants to take advantage of speed optimization for the code, and when accessing a certain level of hardware, the timing specification may be very critical. At that time we are using a certain instruction of assembly level language, right, and many other reasons we have here, you can see. So then when a cross compiler generates a binary, may not be able to offer required time specification accurately, or we can say the writing the hardware peripheral access routine in process control specific assembly level language, and also we can say one more is invoking it from C is the most advisable method for the handling such situation, right. So therefore we are mixing the some assembly code, or we can say some assembly service routines with a C program, right. Mixing C and assembly is a little complicated, in the sense the programmer must be aware of how parameters are passed from C routine to the assembly, and values are written from the assembly routine to C, and how assembly routine is invoked from the C code. These are the things it is required. Okay, so therefore it is not much complicated, little complicated. The passing parameter to the assembly routine and returning values from the assembly routine to the caller C functions, and the method invoking the assembly routine from the C code is cross compiler dependent, right. And there are here you can see, yeah, just a minute, here you can see, right, there is no universal written rule for this, means here the cross compiler will decide how the function how the parameter is passing, how the assembly routine we are mixed with the C, all those things. There is not exact rule, but it is decided by the cross compiler. You must get these information from the documentation of the cross compiler you are using, right. That information you should get here, right. You see here, let's examine this talking keel C51 cross compiler for 51 control, how we can do the mixing here. Let's we see with example. with Keil C51 cross compiler, right? So for 8051 microcontroller, the objective of this example is given idea on how C51 cross compiler performs the mixing of the assembly code. So the number how it will see step by step it is given. So first write a simple function in a C, right, that passes a parameter and return value a way you want your assembly routine. So first you need to write a program in C, then use the SRS directive, so that SRS directive, so that the C compiler generates .srs, means source file, not here object file, SRS file, right? So third one is compile the C file. Then you compile the C file so that it can generate a .srs file containing assembly code generated for the C code you wrote, right? Then you rename the .src file to A51 file. Then you edit this .a51 file to insert the assembly code, right? So here you can see one example for this, right? So example for this. So this is here you can see, right? So this is a main C program you written, right? That you are here compiled using cross compilation, which convert that your C file into a source file, right? In this source file you can insert your assembly code. Here you can see, you can edit and assemble, you can insert the code here. You can see how the code is inserted, right? Okay, so this is about how we are mixing assembly with a high level language. Then next we have to study mixing high level language with assembly level language. In this C mixing code written in a high level language like C and assembly level language is very useful in the following scenarios. The source code is already available in the assembly level language and routine written in the high level language, right? So here the source code is written in the assembly level language, routines are written in the functions are written in the assembly means high level language. The source code is written in the assembly level language, means the main program is written in the assembly level language, and the routines or functions are written in the high level language. The entire source code is planned in the assembly code for various reasons, like optimization of the code, and that reasons, efficient code memory utilization, proven expertise in the handling, and so on, right? The third point is to include the built-in library functions written in C language provided by the cross compiler. For example, built-in graphics library function and see here we have cross compiler, several library C files are there. Those it is included into our source file, which is actually the written in assembly code, right? So this is how is another type here. Okay, so here several examples are given, so you can read that, right? Then we have finally inline assembly. Inline assembly is another technique for the inserting target processor controller specific assembly instruction at any location of the source code written in high level language C. So you can easily means here this is the method where we are inserting our assembly instructions anywhere in the high level language. This avoids the delay in calling a assembly routine. So this avoids you the calling a assembly routine and execute and go back. These things it is removed here. Especially keywords are used to indicate the start and end of the assembly instructions. So some of the keywords we use. The keywords are cross compiler specific. C51 uses a keyword hash pragma asm and hash pragma end asm to indicate the block of code written in the assembly. So you can see the codes here. For that means hash pragma asm, then we have to write assembly, then pragma end asm. Asm and end asm used as a directive. Here hash pragma is the name. So where keywords which we are using, inside that we are writing the assembly code wherever we want in a C program. Okay, next is the programming in embedded C. See, whenever the conventional C language, its extensions are used for the programming embedded means embedded system, it is referred as embedded C programming, right? Embedded C programming. The programming in embedded C, the C language, normal C language we are utilizing to write the program for embedded system, to develop a firmware. We using a C language. Such C language we call it embedded C language. There is a difference between embedded C language and the C language. What is the difference we have to see here? See, what is C versus embedded C? See here, C is a well structured. C initially we will study about the C here. C is a well structured, well defined, standardized general purpose programming language with extensive bit manipulation support. C offers a combination of features of high level language assembly and helps in a hardware access programming. It helps in a hardware access programming. So let's we see what is the normal C, that is conventional C. The conventional C language allows the ANSI standard, and it incorporates various library files for a different operating system. Right? It incorporates various library file for the different operating system. A platform specific applications known as a compiler is used for the conversion of a program written in C to the target processor specified binary files, right? Hence it is a platform specific development. Only it is a platform specific development. It is not using for any hardware development as a firmware, right? Where embedded C is utilizing as a firmware. Here embedded C can be considered as a subset of conventional C. It is a part of a conventional C language. Embedded C supports all the C instructions, incorporate few target processor specific instructions or a functions. It is having some certain target specific, means based on the microcontroller microprocessor, there is some functions we can write for the target processor or microcontroller. Based on the microcontroller, those it has to include those instructions or a functions it has to include. It should be noted that standard ANSI C library implementation is always tailored to the target processor controller library files in the embedded C, right? The implementation of the target processor controller specific functions instructions dependent on the processor/controller as well as a supported cross compiler for a particular embedded C language, right? So a software program called a cross compiler is used to conversion of the program written in embedded C to the target processor or a controller specific instruction. So here we are using a cross compiler to convert. See here the compiler for the normal C program is different. Here the compiler for the embedded C is different. Here so cross compiler is used to convert a software, right? Convert a program which is written in embedded C. See, cross compiler is dependent on the type of the processor and target you have to use here. So therefore, so particular processor and target, the cross compiler should have to convert that embedded C to its target processor control specific instructions, that is depend on its processor or a controller instructions, that is machine language. Okay, so this is all about C versus embedded C, and here we complete our module 4. So we studied module 1, module 2, module 3, and we told you to do the assignment on module 1. All right, we will continue our session from the module 1, right? So till then, will you take care. Bye bye. See you again in the next session.